What's going on, guys? It's your boy Chaos back here at the Chaos and Lou podcast. And of course, we got West Coast Lulu up in the motherfucking building.
Sir.
Welcome back to another live, guys. Here to do it again. Shoot the shit, talk some shit.
There we go.
The huge, man. And as you guys know, we always like to recap on work. We had a little small one today. One of those things, man, where it's like you go expecting to do like a full thing. I mean, well, we kind of expected that it was gonna be a little small day, but
to be honest, bro, and I'm just speaking for myself. In my case, bro, any work it's appreciated, bro, because sometimes you kind of like you're creative, bro, because you start working on the pod. You create something to do. You know what I mean? As for me, it's like I'm just lazy. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to
do what we gotta do.
Yeah, I do what I gotta do. But I appreciate you even like letting me come along, bro, because I know that like 90% of the time, bro, these local small jobs you can do by yourself. But again, you never know what the circumstances are. You don't know.
That's the reason why I bring you.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like I'm like, bro, I'm just thankful that like you just at least get me to be active, at least.
Like I always tell you at work, if I'm barely working, I know you're barely working because obviously you work for me. So naturally, I'm like, if I'm not working, I'm worried about your finances too. So
yeah. Nah, but bro, I mean,
you're just an extension of myself.
But how sick was that view on that other job though, bro? That was a nice. Oh my god, bro!
It was Santa Monica Pier.
Bro, I couldn't believe it. And I was just telling you, like, imagine how the wildfires. Was it you outside? How the wildfires would look from that view. Mm-hmm. Oh my lord, bro!
That'd be crazy.
They must have had a
quiet. You're also telling the third party guys.
The third party guy came up there, bro, and I was like, wow, like look at that view. He's like, bro, all we need is a carne asada with the banda outside. I was like, bro, stop it, because I'll order it right now.
I mean, you gotta love it, man. But
it's a great day, man. It was great work.
It's good to have those few days, man, because it's been slow for us.
Yeah.
It's been financially struggles.
Yeah.
And some mental fortitude is good to have in these times, because it gets tough, man. It gets real tough.
It's good, man.
That's the reason why we try to sit and come up with these pods. And actually, before I even get into that, I know you like that thumbnail for today, though.
Oh yeah, man. It's so far. Like I said, man, I like the way you get creative with it, man. Because again, I would have an idea of how I want it, to put it together and how like the time you put into it, like man, it shows like the work, bro. I don't know. I appreciate it a lot, bro. It's really nice.
It's funny because you're always like, oh man, this is the best one. I'm like, nah. I always like, bro. We've had some good ones. Like I can tell you right now, if you go back and look at our first thumbnail. It was trash.
See, but no, I mean,
it was trash. Go look at it. It was trash. The first thumbnail for the first live was trash.
Well, I mean, trial and error.
But you know why though? It wasn't because I didn't know what I was doing. It's just that I did that on the computer. Has its own little editing software and it sucks. And I did it on that. But ever since I think it was probably the third live, I started doing it on Canva. Canva is just the best, so that's why they've been getting better. So,
all right,
I thank Canva for a lot of
all this tech talk, man. Hey, I hear you.
Either way, anyways, back to what we were saying. Yeah, man, work's been tough. It's obviously been slower than we like it to be, and a lot of times it puts strain on our mental and our life and. Finances, unfortunately, it's like, how they say it's, money is the root of all evil, but at the same time, it's very necessary in this time.
Yeah,
like we have to have it. So
you want to not make it like seem like money isn't everything, but at the end of the day, bro, you need it.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, man. But
let's just be real.
So based on work being slow, obviously we sit down and we like to come up with a topic, and I think more recently we've been doing topics without really writing down like every bit of information like we used to.
Yeah.
We would just jot down the main things, and I when I was thinking about what we should talk about this week, religion is just one of the ones that just kept coming back to me, like something about it. I just like things happening in my life reminding me of it, and I think that religion is super important for one, but I think it's also very misunderstood and very misrepresented represented by some people who call themselves so-called Christians or Catholics or whatever it is. I think
extremists, like
I think there's like levels to it, and Man,
I
it's
think I think there's different kind of people that speak about religion. Those that know their stuff and can back up their claims and can name you certain scriptures. And then there's people that there's certain scriptures that resonated with them so deeply that they just live by certain ones. And then just shoo off the rest and sin on that part. That I think there's just like I said, there's true Christians, and then there's other ones that I think that, in my opinion, are a bit of hypocrites. In my opinion,
let me ask you something, Lou. Would you consider yourself a man of God?
yes.
All right, now let me stop you there before you say anything else. What makes you think you're a man of God? What determines that?
I guess it would have to be just of how I was raised. I was led to believe our culture had to go to church, live by a certain set of rules of, obviously one of the obvious: don't kill, don't steal, don't,
Yeah.
all the basic ones. And I think it's in a way helped me to really view things differently in life, because you get put into certain situations, and then you got to make a decision whether you're gonna act this way or you're gonna act that way. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be this person or if you're gonna be that person. What I think what holds people back is knowing that consciously, because of what you've learned in church and what they show you not to do and whatnot, it kind of makes you either I'm gonna live by God's way, or I'm just gonna lash out and act any way that I want.
Yeah.
So
Man, I think obviously, I believe in God. Um I just, like we were saying earlier, I think there's just too much of an extreme in people. And I'll use a work example. I used to work with a guy who was to the point where he had changed his whole life around. He had lived a pretty crazy life as a teen, and he would do the whole nine, do drugs, commit crimes, do the worst, be that worst kind of person. And then he said that I don't remember exactly what caused him to find Christ, but he did, and then he complete 180'd. And now he's the opposite extreme. Now he's to the point where he doesn't cuss at all. He won't even say the word. He won't even say goddamn. And he won't, drink, do drugs, nothing like that. He's
nothing.
as straight as possible, even to the point where it's like whoever comes around him, he has to spread the gospel. He has to spread the word. And like everything he correlates to his life. And I think that's fine. Perfectly fine. I think the problem I start having is when they're pushing it on you, like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think that is something that is where I get conflicted. I'm not saying that deters me from believing in God, because I'm going to believe in Him regardless. Yeah. I just think that some people just take it to the extreme, and it's the same thing going back to if he was just the opposite guy. You're robbing, stealing. I mean, he obviously didn't kill nobody, but it's like that's the other extreme. So now you're at the other end. It's no different, I think. In other words, I mean, yeah, obviously one is a good guy, one is a bad guy, but it's still an extreme. Yeah. And should you really push it on people like that?
Well, I mean, I think. Okay, well, I think in a way it wouldn't be too extreme, and then in another way is like, okay, let's just say you're going through a certain struggle in life, and he can provide even just the right words that can probably give you a way to guide you, or maybe even brighten up your day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because maybe that's his objective, but if he's pushing it, and he doesn't get the fact, like he's still trying to convince you. You get what I'm saying? Like I was like, kind of like give it a rest type of thing. You know what I mean? No, but we're not debating whether I believe in God anymore. Now you're just trying to make me live how you live. You know what I mean? I think that's where the problem is. It's like we're all different, so we all believe in different things.
Now let me ask you this: we kind of had this conversation off air before we even started, so you kind of have an idea of what I'm about to talk about. But do you feel like do you feel like your religion set should determine whether or not you let somebody into your life, as far as like dating, relationships? Do you feel like that should that should determine whether or not a person is worthy enough to be with you? Just kind of curious.
No, I don't think that religion should be. I mean, look, I think if you're gonna bring religion into a relationship, I think you're at a point where you guys are at the point where you're gonna get married already. You know what I mean? That's where I think the religion will really basically come in and be a factor enough for you to deter you from like getting being interested in the person. Is what I'm
Mm.
saying. Because the argument here isn't like, oh, whether do you believe in God, is do you live by certain rules in your life, and do you let that dictate how you live?
Yeah. Well, see, obviously within religion, there's a reason why we call him father. We look up to him as a fatherly figure. So technically, yeah, there are rules that you got to follow if you're going to be, under his guiding light. So I think obviously, again, there's extremes, you know what I mean? And I also think that there's pockets of people like, we were saying this earlier too. There's pockets of people like you go into LA and you hear rap and you look around, you're like, oh, those are the gangsters. And then if you go and, see, a white lady with a dress on, you're like, oh, she's probably going to church. It's like you put people in categories just naturally off rip. That's just your mentality. So I think it goes the same with religion. Like if a person's not in the same walk as you, I think you're right away like, okay, I don't know. And I think we feel that. We don't. I don't even think that's something that we have to like try to figure out. We feel that. We know that.
Look, man, I've from firsthand experience lately, in the past, year or two, I've been to church a lot more, because of Lexi, being in
For
community
communion,
classes and
yep.
all that. But I I'm not gonna lie to you. Like sometimes I felt like it was obligated on me to do it, and it is because you have to go to mass and this. But I started appreciating it more. And what's funny? I was telling Scooby that, well, like we have a really nice, and it's only three people, a really nice choir. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And they sing really nice.
Yeah.
And not only that, bro. Like sometimes the topics of the day of the Sunday are really really like send a message, and it gives me to think, like try to think in the closest people in my life, like they appreciate God almost if not more than I do on the because I do in a way like let that be a kind of a way to tell myself that everything's gonna be okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a safe zone for me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, no matter how low I feel, no matter what the circumstances, whether I lose somebody, whether it all means something at the end of the day, because I can't question what he wrote. You get what I'm
See,
saying?
I think religion is also a way of life too. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like for example, if you're a normal 9 to 5 guy, you go to work, come home, do your thing. You don't really go out party. You know, to go for a friend to be like, hey, let's go drag race our cars today. Like, you probably won't go do that.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
your thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same with like religion. If somebody's kind of not walking that walk with you, you're just like, I don't know if we're gonna work out. Like you don't have the same belief systems I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's where some things
But
conflict.
I,
But
I see. I'm sorry. I don't even
no,
cut you
no, go
off.
ahead, go ahead, go
But
ahead.
I want to use that as an example. Like, oh yeah, like I'm probably not gonna go do drag racing or nothing. But at the end of the day, like, is that gonna keep you from like? Let's just say she was into drag racing and she doesn't want to go drag racing. Doesn't mean that you don't like watching videos of it. I think they take it to the extreme, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like it's not that I don't believe in God. I just don't think that I would have to live by these certain rules that you live by to make this work.
yeah. I look, man. I've grown up in a not so. I wouldn't say religious, and by religious I mean
Hey, take a look at out, Scooby. Thank you.
what's your put? Checking in from church.
That's what's up.
Hey, holding it down for the Mariano
The
household. You know what I
Marianos.
mean?
We are the
Hey,
Marianos.
speaking of households, we need to get those banners in here for Game of Thrones when it
Oh
comes back.
my lord.
So before we get get into the
I don't
rest of
even want to
this.
get into that right now, Charles.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a
we'll
whole
talk about
nother
that another
episode.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I really feel like it's just like a belief system is something you have to, you know, really want for yourself. I like I said, I think my biggest problem is when people want to force it on me, you know. And I don't think God intended it to be that way. I think that God intends you to walk your walk however you need to walk it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be forced upon you. I don't think it should dictate how you possibly connect with people. I, I like to look past that, and even though that we're blessed by this life by Him, I think we should still get to know the human part of ourselves, the
Yeah.
the soul that's connected to us, and then we can start venturing into those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of curious, and religion's been coming up so often to me, and it's almost like God is like, "Hey, Chris, maybe you need to do a little bit more," and I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah,
But
because I mean, I think, like I said, it's always a safe zone. I mean, like, look, there's always, like, you don't have to be consecutive go to church on Sunday. I mean, especially if because of work, totally respect it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, you'd be surprised how nice of an experience is just to spend about an hour to an hour and a half in there, listening to guidance, to basically, I mean, there's nothing that I find in that in the whole time that I'm there to be like, why am I here? Why? Like, you embrace it, you learn, because at this point, like I said, I appreciate it a lot more because of I'm just following the same footsteps as my parents, how they they took us to church. We have to get baptized, do the first communion, confirmation, all that other stuff, and now I get to experience it as a parent myself and watch her, learn how to. It's funny, because Pancho tested Lexi one day when he's like, "Oh, do you know the Our Father?" He's like, "Yes." And when Pancho's like, "All right, let me hear it," and she said it,
the whole thing,
the whole thing, bro. And I'm like,
hey,
just to hear Lexi, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
wow, like
yeah.
she's
It's
come
powerful, man.
exactly,
It's
man. And,
powerful.
and I think that's a good way, like I say, of guidance to raise your kid in the same way that I was raised, because at the end of the day, she's gonna learn the exact same things that I live by. And if I turned out not so bad, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know not to kill, I know not to steal, I know not to do certain obvious things to
I mean, let's face it,
you know
everybody sins.
exactly. And
Everybody.
again, nobody's perfect. I'm not claiming to be perfect either, but again, I'm just living I'm trying to follow in the same way that I was raised, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
so
I think there are good people out there, and I think there are plenty of people who don't religiously go to church and religiously pray that are going to
yeah.
go to heaven. I
you know
mean,
Honestly, I just I still really really look back and think of how I met the girl that I met. She went to Catholic school. I met her at church, and I was, I she surprises me sometimes, bro, when we're at church, because she knows a lot of stuff before. There's sometimes a father will ask like, "Oh, somebody tell me what this was about and this and that, or where is this from?" And she's been with some of the few people that actually raise their hand and speak up, and and I can appreciate it a lot more. Like I said, I've never really noticed it, but it was like it was meant to be. I just living the life, going to that church, put me in the position to have my family today.
hey,
So I thank God for that every
amen.
day. Thank God.
Amen, man. That's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
this is what I mean. It's like you don't come off to me as somebody who's like very preachy about it, but we absolutely have talks about God. We absolutely talk about the Word, and I would be lying to you if I told you I got up every day and went to my Bible and prayed, or went to sleep every night and prayed, or if I'm being completely transparent, I mean, I thank God every day for blessings, right? I thank God for the struggles and the good times. But I find myself trying to actively like thank him more often when just to thank him, not when it's just a blessing, or
Yeah.
not when it's just a hard time. And I try not to just seek him out during times where it is tough,
Yeah.
because that tends to be most people's thing. Like with God, like it's almost like they're hoping that he's gonna be like a genie, like grant me
Yeah.
these wishes. You know what I mean? like quick.
Yeah.
But I think again, everybody has their own walk, man, and I
I
think
I just
it's
think
on
that
them to
people
do it.
misinterpret that, man, because they're like, "Oh, please help me." When sometimes people don't even realize what they have. You know, people are
Yeah,
doing way, way worse. Why am I living in such a small apartment? Why am I getting paid so low? Why am I hard? There's people that can't work. There's people that aren't eating. These people that live in far worse. That's why I thank God every day for what I have. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And as good as other people that are my age are doing better than me, I still appreciate what I have done for myself. You know
yeah,
what I mean? What I have done for my family, and I'm doing the best I can. And let me tell you, the way my kids are being raised is way better than how I was raised. So I could thank God for that. And
yeah,
I could only ask for, I can't ask for any more than that. You know, I
yeah, man.
couldn't.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah, man.
And just like we were talking about extremes when it comes to religion and stuff like that, we're gonna take it to the other end of the extreme of this. And the reason why I tied it into religion is just because I feel like some of the most hateful people I've come across are the ones that preach that they're religious and believe in God, and but bro, and this is why I say sometimes it almost feels like propaganda from like hardcore. And I hate to call out a specific religion, but Christianity, like Christians that I've met have been some of the most hardcore like preachers of it, but are the ones that's like doing the most. Like, you're not supposed to judge people, but you're judging me the most. You know what I mean? Like, but race was one of the things that um, I wanted to tie it into because it's like one of the most hateful forms of speech and belief, and so. And we'll get into a story as to why I brought it to this. But have you ever had any racist moments in your
Uh,
lifetime?
yeah, man, definitely. And again, I don't blame the area that we lived in. You know what I mean? I don't. That's not what I want to do here. But in all reality, man, South Central LA, especially in the High Park district, bro, you know far too well exactly what I'm talking about. You lived in the heart of it just like I did.
Yeah,
And I think it was a major culture shock for you when you
it
came,
was,
you know
bro.
what I mean? So
It
for
was.
me, growing up and living every day, all day, like that, gunshots, helicopters, it was nonstop. So it just becomes the normal.
Mm.
And I guess you just kind of like are whatever about it, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna be real, a lot of most of my encounters were with black people, black people. What's funny is that most of my friends are black people, and that's what's ironic because it's just the majority of what's around me at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, there's been a few times where there's been, I think one of the worst ones was in high school when we were having the
The
riots.
race wars.
Yeah, race wars, and we were being targeted. Me and my brother Reese.
I remember them days.
Yeah, and they were about to run up on us because it was just me and him. And Pancho came quick, and we were pretty much at the point where we were either fight or get in. And some teachers just opened this door, and but it was just so much hate. Like, they were saying like "fuck Mexicans," "fuck this," "fuck that." Like, we are like, bro, like I don't even know you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. Like, it's getting to the point where I'm just here to defend myself, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're taking it the wrong way. I
Yeah.
think that was probably the worst one. But light ones like, oh, you like Mexican or you wetback, like when we're on the bus or when you're at the movies, oh, these Mexicans, they smell, or just random shit that really didn't really mean much at the time to me,
Yeah.
but it was just the norm, you know what I mean? Just like it wasn't nothing out of the ordinary for me.
I remember one time in high school. Oh, before I go, shout out Adri for being at the retreat and holding it down for the God babies. I
God
see you over
bless.
there. That's what's up. Enjoy that 15-minute break. Um, but I remember one time in high school, I told you this story. I had a shirt that I had bought from Crenshaw Mall, and I was walking through the hallway. I was with somebody. I forgot who I was with, and he was like, "Hey, I like that shirt." And I'm in LA. You get so used to a certain lingo in LA, like, and most of my friends in Crenshaw was black. So,
Yeah.
you kick it with them, you start talking it like them. So I'm like, hey, I appreciate that, my nigga.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like that. And I didn't even think two thoughts about it. And he was like, "What'd you just say?" I said, "I appreciate it." He was like, "Nah, the other part." And I was like, "Oh, my nigga." I was like, "I appreciate that, bro." Like, you know. And
Yeah.
he was like, "You're a fucking wetback. You better fucking go back where you come from. Don't ever call me out." I was like,
What the
"Whoa,
fuck?
whoa, whoa!"
Whoa,
Like,
whoa.
and bro, you know me, bro. I was like, first of all, you don't even know where I'm from. And at the time, I had long,
Yeah.
spiky hair at the time. And believe it or not, I actually used to have hair. But
Believe it or not, I have to vouch for that.
yeah, so yeah, it was just a shock. Like I was like, he just straight called me a wetback. Yeah, and the crazy part is, I was born in Belize, so technically, it's like you're calling me something you don't even know. And then another thing I used to really hate is when I would hear, "Oh, you're just Mexican." I'm like, you guys understand that there's other Hispanic cultures besides Mexico, right?
Yeah.
There's Salvadorians, there's Guatemalans,
Guatemalans,
there's
Honduran.
Belizeans, bro. Like,
Yep.
it's all Hispanic culture. Like, I think it's ignorant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, that was just a random story. That's just one of the more recent, or one of the Crenshaw days that I
Yeah, but
experienced
see,
it.
that's interesting that we both have high school ones, but it just goes to show you, bro, that these kids that are coming to school and doing the things that they do and saying the things that they say, they only hear it from where, bro? From home. You know what I mean? And that's just the example that they set. And bro, it's funny because kids are so innocent; they're always gonna tell you the truth, and they don't see. At least for my kids, they go to in the same area that I'm in, and a lot of their friends are black and Hispanics, and they don't see that though. You get what I'm saying? Because I have a picture of Lucy and her friend. I can't even remember her name, but they both wear the same costume in Halloween, and she's black and she's Hispanic, and they're so happy. You
Yeah,
know what I
they
mean?
don't know
Like
any
that,
better.
they don't know any better, bro, because they don't see those kind of problems that we see, and they're not even
Yeah,
problems, bro. We create those issues amongst ourselves.
yeah, man. And
You know?
we're also in a very cultural place, so especially California. California is very diverse. So,
Yeah.
but the more you go into South Central LA, it's very diverse.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, obviously majority Hispanic and black, but there's a lot of Asian there.
Yeah.
If you go towards Hollywood, you get the Armenians.
Oh yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
cultured
yeah.
here in California. So, um, but again, back to tying it to religion, and the reason why I felt like some of the most hateful people I've come across is the ones that call themselves Christians. I remember one time I was dating this girl, and you know where this story is about to go.
Oh.
I was dating this girl. She was a lot younger than me at the time. I think I want to say 20, like 6, and she was about to be 19. So yeah, she was kind of
Oh damn,
young.
yeah.
She was kind of young, but we had known each other throughout our years growing up, and there was never anything there when we were growing up. Obviously, she was a lot younger than me, but it ended up being where we ended up meeting up randomly in the store and seeing each other, and we hit it off from there. We started talking one night. We started liking each other. She started feeling me, and it got to the point where like she started taking me seriously, and I was like, all right, this could potentially be something. So we started dating seriously. She's white, and her grandparents was the one who raised her, and they're from Canada, and it baffles me how much they used to preach. Oh, God is their savior. Like, you can't hate people, this and that. When they found out that she was dating me, and I used to live next to them, that's how I knew her in the first place. We used to live next door. When they found out she was dating me, she was supposed to get an inheritance. They're like, if you keep dating that nigger, this and that, you're not gonna get your inheritance and this. And she would tell me the stuff that they would tell her. I'm like, they really call me that? Like, do they remember me? Like the neighbor who was always nice to them, the one who would offer to take their water jugs in, like the nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, they would constantly preach God. But then when this happened, it just blew my mind how when it affects their personal life, all of a sudden it's a problem. I'm no longer the nice person, you know what I mean, or the peaceful, like don't hate, don't judge nobody. Adri said another one. You want to read that? I didn't see it.
Let me see. You can't be out here casting the stone if you're not worthy of picking one up in the first place.
See,
Small mentalities. I like that.
definitely. definitely. Yeah, so it kind of like was boiling and boiling, and when we started getting more serious, now we're like probably like a year and a half into the relationship now, and they realize that she's not leaving me and she's not kind of giving up on it. But then I started seeing little changes in her, but I'll get into that here in a second. Um, One day we were at the mall and we were at the food court eating, and it just so happened one of the doors from the outside is right there by the food court. So they were eating, and lo and behold, who walks into the mall? Her grandparents, and he looks dead at me, and then looks at her, and I look at her, and then I look back at them, and he's like, he walks up, and well, not like right to us. He walks because there's this rail dividing where we're eating. He was like. He pointed his finger straight at me. He's like, "You come here."
He was Scorpion.
Scorpion, bro, straight up. Get over
Get
here.
over here.
But so I'm like, she's like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, just stay here. I was like, let me go see what they're gonna tell me. So I walk over, and he was like, "You need to leave my granddaughter alone. It's gonna be my final warning. I don't like seeing her out here with you. This and that. You need to basically like tell me what I needed to do." And I told him, respectfully, sir, I've known you for a long time. I've never been disrespectful to you guys. I've never once talked to her in any way, shape, or form while we were growing up. And now she's an adult and she can make decisions for herself. And I think if she's choosing to be with me, then I think you should respect her wishes. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Didn't you fucking hear what I just said? You need." Then he starts going into.
He got belligerent.
Yeah, he like, bro, and I'm shocked. We're in a food court at a mall. There's people all around, and he starts raising his voice. I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" And while he's berating me, you hear the grandma chime in. "You need to go back where you fucking came from." Bro, I right away, bro, instantly went from calm Chris to like, you know what? Nah, like I'm not, I've been way too nice to these people growing up and never once disrespected them, even up until when they were calling me out my name via her, I never went over there and was like, what the fuck? She was like, "You need to go the fuck back where you came from, this and that." I turned around, I was like, and I feel bad about this because obviously, I was very quick-tempered when I was younger, okay?
I know.
I looked over, I was like, "Bitch, didn't you just fucking come from Canada not that long ago?" I'm like, "Aren't you a fucking immigrant too?" I started going off. And Lynn was like, "You fucking better shut up, you fucking nigger dating a white," like, bro, going ham. I was like, this is the kind of people that you guys want to be? I was like, you understand it is fucking the 20th century. Slavery was over a long time ago, motherfuckers. So if you don't fucking like it, go back to then. Because we're in a whole different time. Like, clearly, you guys are looking like straight white trash right now. Like, to be really fucking racist against a whole nother race because you don't agree with it is crazy to me, bro. And like, bro, their true colors came out, and I'm like, don't. And then like I said, I was like, aren't you guys believers in God? Didn't you guys preach to me growing up about God? And here you are, fucking calling me a nigger and telling me I need to go back where I came from and this and that. I was like, you do understand that those two don't even make sense. Which am I? Am I an immigrant or am I a nigger? Which one?
Jesus.
Like, figure it the fuck out. You know what I mean?
You
like,
can't be both.
Bro, it really fucking pissed me off. And I got black in my family and I got Hispanic in my family. So it's like I was offended twice.
On two different levels.
On two different levels, bro. Like, and it was crazy to me that this is where we got into. And so I bring it back to the whole like race versus religion. I think that these are like really extreme things. And if taken to a certain extreme, this is the kind of result you get, I think. And that's why I'm like, man, it's like, I love God, bro. I just don't love how some people love him and praise him and like make him the end all be all. But in all reality, you're not even fully like there with them, because I'm telling you,
Yeah.
these people would preach to me every time I see them. Oh, here, let me say a sermon for you, and I'm like, cool, I'd listen, I'd bow my head, listen, and they would be on their way. I did that so many times with them, and for them to just,
Yeah.
wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, bro. You'd be surprised, man. And they're like the same people that are at church, and they walk up there, they get the blessing from the God, the
Mm-hmm.
Father, and all that. Like I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't be this way just 2 days ago, and then come get blessed, and then think it's all good. You know what I
Bruh.
mean? Like it doesn't work that way, man.
Man, like I said, sometimes I really was like, how is this real right now? Like, this can't be real life that you guys are so
Yeah.
opposite of what you're being right now. Anyways, the funny thing about that whole situation, the people who were at the food court, um, they got up, like a couple people were like, you guys need to leave, and telling them, not us. And when I got done cussing them out, all you heard was, man, but you know what? The fucked up part about all of it was, man, I felt bad about the entire thing because not only did I shame older people in them, even though they started it, I felt more, I felt worse for my girl at the time because she was the one who was embarrassed the most, not only by her grandparents but by the guy and things started changing. But ultimately, I started realizing for her it was about the money too. They were really threatening her about getting inheritance, and I could see the change in her. So money, money is the root of all evil, man. They say, but
Man.
it's just how things
Wasn't true
go.
love, man. Don't
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It doesn't bother me,
Yeah.
but actually to this day, we every now and again I hear from her. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, her and I have a great
There you go.
relationship still. She had a baby a couple years back,
Tell her to
and
cash app you.
for what? Oh yeah, we don't have to
Shit, she got
do
an
nothing.
inheritance, man. Don't matter.
Oh, for that, yeah.
Pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering.
Shit.
Reparations, motherfucker.
Exactly, reparations.
I don't need shit from her. I can tell
You
you
need
that
restraint.
Right now. Man, but yeah. So yeah, any other racist situations you had, or was that kind of the end all?
I mean, again, like none major that I could really think of that is significant enough in my life for me to hate a specific race. No, because for me, man, I'm neutral. I treat everybody the same, no matter what you are. I mean, I have the same respect for a man and for a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, regardless of the color. But other than that, man, like with that being said, I just want to make it clear that like, my objective is not to shame any specific race, but the reality is of the area where I grew up in, that was just the majority. And
Yeah.
again, that's just my truth. And it made me the guy I am today.
Shit, man. During those Crenshaw race riots, bro, I had to watch out from blacks and Hispanics.
But you know what, brothers? I know that sucks, man. Like, but there's other beautiful things, bro. Like that we as people that share, and there'd be the most like simplest things, bro. Like cars, bro. Crenshaw Sunday nights, Hispanics, black people, everybody would come out, show out with their old school whips, just cruising down Crenshaw, going down up and down the street, and I still grew up with that, knowing that, and that's like again, there's certain things that we can all relate to, but I think there's a lot more that we can do for each other.
This is the way I see it, man. Life is complicated as it is, and to intertwine it and make it more complicated with hate, and then also mix that up with different religions and shunning people for having different belief systems, it's like that's where hate comes from. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's upon us to really change those types of narratives. Like, I don't see people for religion. If you believe in God, I relate to you more. That's just the difference. You know what I mean? If you don't, then that's just something that you might not relate to me on.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And even if you do, it doesn't mean that you're like an extremist. You're not gonna be, you're not a preacher. But yeah, you asked me if I believe. I believe.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't knock anybody for what level of believe you're on.
Yeah, and I think it, like, when you start dabbling into, you can't say goddamn because it's, look,
Well, watch
man,
those GDs though.
you know what I'm
Chill
saying?
out.
I'm just saying, to me, I'm like, look, if God is gonna punish me for saying this, then we'll have that talk when I get up there.
Yeah.
But and if I don't make it up there, then I mean, I really don't know like where I'm gonna be. Do I believe that there's a heaven and hell? Absolutely, and I absolutely hope that I get to go to heaven. But these are things that I feel like, man, this is the problem. It's like you kind of battle being a good person based on the fact that of how you're doing it through God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like a narrow-minded way of looking at life too. Because, bro, if you guys have seen the description, I said we're just a speck in this vast universe, bro, and we don't even graze the surface of what we know about this world. So I just think it's crazy for us to sit here and fight each other over religion, race, belief systems, whatever. Like it's like we're wasting life for over hate. Like that just doesn't make sense to me, man. But all right, so one of the questions I did ask, do you feel like let me see how I wrote it. Do you feel like your religion dictates how you view life morally?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, to a certain extent, yes. Yeah, because it helps me, uh, it guides me to be a certain way, a certain parent, a certain way of living. Like I said again, it's like a safe zone for me, where no matter what the circumstances, no matter if I'm up, if I'm down, or whatever, I always thank God. I always try to, put Him first, and anything that happens in my life, I believe it's what He wants for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing else to. I mean, yeah, you're the person doing it and making things happen, but who gives you the ability? Who gives you another day?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like it's just the way I feel that it like I said, it helps me live a better life in my head. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. I think yeah, religion's definitely kind of dictated how I've moved in life. But I also feel like it's also some of the reasons why I get confused about religion because of how people who are super religious act. Like I think again, just that story of girl's grandparents, that was crazy to me. And then another situation I kind of had was another girl I was dating. Her dad essentially was the one who was like who put the idea in her head that she should leave me, and this is coming from the most Christian guy you can have. You know what I mean? And I think that it's like you guys say, oh, you want you, and I felt like I was on a good path with him too. Like whenever I was around him, never swore, never said the GDs that he didn't like, like I try to like at least, be a better guy when I was around his family. I mean, not that I wasn't doing it when I wasn't around them, but just a little on better behavior when I was with him, just to not disrespect him. So, for him to go and like kind of instigate a situation, I think it's like you're preaching one thing, but you're doing the complete opposite, man. Like that doesn't make sense to me. So I think the way like religion comes into people's life is very, very reminiscent of how you move too. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, man, I think sometimes I have it with good intent, and again, I think it's valuable for you to hear that kind of stuff from them. Only if you were in a really bad spot in your life, like where you're like on drugs or like you're going through with your whatever it is you're going through, and if that can help you in a way, then welcome it. But if you're not in such a bad way, like back spot in your life where you feel like you need to push this on you, like, no, man, it's never that bad. You can't really push that upon anybody. It's their decision, it's their mind, their heart, what they're ever gonna believe in.
I think everybody has a come to term point in their life where they gotta like come to grips with what they truly believe in, and I think as human beings we naturally get attached to the worldly things, and we lose sight of things like religion and even just having to pay your bills, man, and the stress of keeping it all together, can sometimes deter you from it. And I think some people are just better at recognizing that in this moment there's a Bible verse that can get me through this moment because they know it so well.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they just open up the Bible and read, and I've done that on numerous occasions. But again, I don't sit here and say that I'm the most religious person, and maybe that's a downfall for me. I don't know. But I like to
I,
think that I can't think that way either. Because if I consider it a downfall, then I think I'm doing myself a disservice. I think I owe it to myself to absolutely work as hard as possible and allow God to let me have my walk. I think it's, I think if God intended it to be any way, is for us to find our way through Him. However, that needs to be done. I don't think it should be white or black. You should definitely use the gray area to figure it out.
yeah.
So
I think that's how it is for a lot of people. I think you just people, unless you're asked, unless you push this kind of stuff on you, you're not really gonna make it a big deal, especially if you're not a big believer in it. But again, I think just within our culture, being Mexican and all that, it's just real big. You know what I mean? It's something that we grow up on, we learn, all that other stuff, man. And again, I'm really thankful of how my mom pretty much raised us and showed us and taught us, got us involved with the church,
yeah,
because we did it all, we helped out, we were in the choir, do all that other stuff. Growing up, every
yeah,
Sunday going to church, and you look back now and as a kid, it's like, damn, that's like, I'm glad I did that because I know what's going on. I know what, just certain stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's all on you. It's again, it's all something that somebody should just have within themselves. You shouldn't really try to push to
I think
on
there's just a
anybody.
really high standard for Christians or Catholics or whatever religion you are to be a certain way within your religion, and I think we're all human. I don't think anybody could be perfect,
Yeah.
even to the Bible standards. And as a matter of fact, the Bible preaches that nobody is, and you can always repent for your sins and do the work to not be there again. But man, I could tell you right now, I absolutely put my faith in the fact that God exists, and that when I have problems, I do seek Him. When I'm in the blessed place, I thank Him, and I think that to me keeps me connected to Him, even if it might not be the strongest connection at the moment. And who knows? Maybe I might get a little closer as I grow older. But I would like to believe that the person that I am right now and the heart that I have now is enough for Him. I like to think that, but maybe I'm not doing enough. I don't know.
I mean, if you have to question it, then I don't think you have, and I think you have a lot more to give,
Well, yeah, I'm
in
not
this
saying
world.
I've given all.
What I'm saying is, like, bro, like, if you could be at peace, God forbid, today, tomorrow, next week, comes the day. I think that, in all honesty, bro, like, as long as you live your life on 100% with whatever it is you live by, believe in, and live by, and I respect you as a man for it, and it is who you are, bro. You should, like I said, it's okay. I feel the same way. Like, I know that I was real. I know that the people that really loved me, that were there for me, and I know that's when you die, when a man dies, bro. That's when a lot of people start like, oh, they're gonna miss you. They're gonna talk about you for like about a month or two.
Yeah,
And then
man.
after that, then what? You
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
It's crazy, bro. Man, and that brings me back to one of the times I think I thank God, the most deepest, sincere, thankful thanks I could give Him. And it leads us into that other story I was telling you about, when I got held up at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wonder, like, what was I supposed to gain from that information? Like, somebody ready to rob me of my life for material things and money, but yet you let me live through it. Sometimes you question, you're like, why did I have to go through it? You know what I mean? And these
Mm-hmm.
are the things we battle with too, as like believers and non-believers. Like, you gotta. I mean, you would look at that and be like, damn, like, why me? But then I also look at it and I'm like, you know what? Thank you for showing me how evil this world can be, and
At
showing
any
me that I
minute.
don't want
Yeah.
to be like that kind of man. And you can go at any time.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I think a big part of why I wanted to bring this topic up, like I said, is it's just been kind of revolving around my life. Like people, like religious things have been popping up. I told you the story about how Shia LaBeouf. I watched an interview with him and him, kind of seeking out God and how he's in a way better place mentally. And I think for people who have like tough mental struggles, man, God is absolutely like a very big cure for people. And I think it's like that for a lot of other problems that people go through. I just think some people just don't seek it that way or seek him as a solution. Like I said, a lot of people tend to seek God like he's a genie
Yeah.
and he can just grant you wishes when you're in a tough time. But I think it should be more than that. I think you should thank him every day, every time you get up, man. If you're blessed enough to wake up, I think that's a beautiful thing, and I thank God for that, man.
Yeah.
I thank God for this day with you to fucking, talk about him and how we struggle as people, but as long as we're trying to press forward and be better people, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing, and the struggles we've had this past couple months with finances and. We're still here. The lights are still on. We're still eating. I think that's a testament to his grace. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think you got another comment. Oh wait, no, that was the old one.
one.
But yeah, man. Another part of why I brought up religion as a topic is because I also want to be thankful for how far we've gotten on the pod. Some of the people that we've gotten to bring on. Having Alex here last week was nice because he really appreciated it, man.
Yeah.
I felt like he really needed to let it out and talk to somebody about it. I even got emotional over Manny last week because, again, another good guy that I've been able to appreciate in my life. And, it's like those are my blessings from God, like to meet people like them. Like Alex don't really know me like that, but he felt compelled to be here with us, and the dude's fucking cool, you know what I mean? Like, how can you not like the guy?
He's a good guy.
So it's like I can honestly say I think the biggest thing God has blessed me with is really good people in my life. I could honestly say that. Despite all the fucked up relationships and the hardship with finances and not being born here and things like that, like that's all been tough, man. But I've been blessed with good people.
You might not be financially rich, bro, but I think you're people rich. You know what I mean?
I'm rich in love. Look.
Yeah, exactly.
I got love from a lot of people in my life.
Yeah, man. And I think that's worth a lot more than money, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you never know which one of these loved ones of yours can help you out. You know what I mean? And it's not about the money, man. It's about helping out a loved one in need. You know what I mean? I don't. Again, people keep their circle small. I like to think of it as just my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have a circle. You know what I mean? Because if I say my family, you don't have to be my blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I see you as that. I respect you as that and love you the same way.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. Excuse me. So look, guys, today's live. We only had these. Mainly religion and race is kind of what we wanted to talk about, but we wanted to tie it into just like struggles. And if you guys are out there trying to figure out, what's going wrong in life and, how to overcome it, there's many things you can do. But one free solution that you can always do is just seek God. I mean, even if it's not the same kind of God I seek, but, have some type of belief systems for a higher power, man, because it can't be coincidence that we have this beautiful thing called Earth and bodies and souls and like, everything was just created, bro, like by divine power. Like, so if that's not something that you can't recognize, then man, you're a lost cause. But I mean, like again, like I said, you got to really look at the grand scheme of things, man. Like how this Earth was perceived or conceived. I mean, and the blessings that you have, just you can live under a house, a roof and four walls. You can have a pool, you can drive a car, you can, taste the best foods. Like these are all blessings from God. Like, and I know some people out there are struggling worse than others, but man, like find something to lock into, believe in. Even if you think you don't believe that there's a God, if you can find peace in yourself, but also find something to do like the gym or like just I don't know, man. I don't want to like try to persuade people to believe in God, but what I do want to tell people is just believe in yourself and believe in a high power and that you were created for a reason. So,
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes what I struggle with, why all the struggle, and then I look back and I'm like, you know what, this having a conversation, having good people like you, having to help Alex through a tough time. That's a calling for me. I feel like it's become more evident that this is what we were meant to do,
Yep,
man.
exactly.
This is what we were supposed to
You
do.
know, I
So
felt that, bro. I felt that from the beginning, especially
beginning.
coming back with, bro, because I always knew you were a good guy, man. I always knew that you meant well, bro. You always checked up on me, man. You always made sure I was all right, man. And there was very few people in my life that were doing that at all. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And the fact that, and it's just crazy, bro. Because like I said, I always say things are meant to be because it's just what a coincidence, bro. Because like I said, I could have came that day, picked up the fireworks, you know, thought nothing of it. Thanked you. Would have bada bing, bada boom. It don't
Yep.
matter. We still would have been cool. We still would have been. It don't. Nothing would have
Same
really
old shit.
changed. But it was the fact that you literally asked me at the right moment, man. How are you? What's going on? How's work? And me having the respect that I have for you, I told myself I can bullshit this guy right now and lie to him and be like, "Oh, I'm cool," you know. And eventually, when I get another job, be like, tell him like, "Oh, you know what? I got canned from the other one.
Yeah.
Now I'm at this."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was easy for me to do that. You know what I mean? But I was in a place in my life where I was like, "Damn, bro! Like I really needed help," and I was at that point where I was asking God like, just shine a little light on me, man. Like just
Yeah.
a little bit on your
Yeah.
boy, you know what I mean? And that's where I was at. And I chose, like I said, it was easy to just open up with you and be honest with you, man. And I told you what was going on, and you were like, "What a winky dink, Lou. You got, I got something for you if you're interested in, man." You were straight up honest with me, man. It's not the most fun. It's not the
It's not the easiest.
easiest. It's definitely not the easiest. But it's an opportunity,
Yeah.
and that's literally was I was asking the universe for. It's an opportunity, and I've I'm telling you, man. I thank God every day for having you in my life, man, at the right time. Right place, right time, man. It was just meant to be, bro.
Yeah, man. And I feel like that's you walking your walk, man. Like that's the beauty of what God allows you to do. Like, I mean, think about how all of that's transpired since then till now. You fireworks, no job, work, ended up working with me. You learned the craft. I'm now the godfather of your kids, and we did that through church, and then we get to have these conversations all the time. Like, bro, like, I mean, work's been great with you. Like, it's been I've always hired people, but never one of my homies. You know what I mean? And so it's just like every day is like back at Crenshaw, just fucking shooting the shit
Right,
every
bro?
day.
How funny is that?
And it just makes work that just much more bearable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You can go through it. Like I tell you all the time, bro. Like the one thing that I can appreciate about you is that no matter how tough it is, you don't fucking complain about it because that's exactly how I am. And I think that's what makes the job better, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and then fast forward to now, man. Like Lexi's about to have her first communion, and I'm gonna be there for that.
Yep.
And like I said, the Lord is always in and
Yeah.
amongst us, man. And He works in His ways, and we can't. Who are we to question it?
Bro, like I said, it's because of and like I said, I strongly believe, bro, it's the way I've been living. His guidance has gotten me where I am now. You know what I mean? I'm not rich. I'm not poor. Thank God.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, like it's just the situations that I've been put in, and then having people like you to help me get out of them. And again, just like I said, it was a choice that I made. It's either lie or be
Yeah.
honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And look
man.
at what happened when being honest. You know what I mean? Everything worked out. Everything's
Bro, and
been
here we are
amazing.
in this
Exactly.
pod because of you, bro.
Exactly. And
That
what
shit is
I was
funny.
getting at too, I kind of got off, but I'm saying like ever since from the beginning, chilling with you, working with you, and just having those long conversations with you on the rides back or on the rides up there, bro. Like it was just all the time, bro. It never failed. You would just blow my mind. It's just with things that I would ask you, things that you would share with me, troubles that I was having in my personal life, and you having advice for me, bro. Just it's just all like it was just like I said, bro. It was just meant to be, and I always felt that I was like, you know what, man, if he can do this for me, why is it that he can help more people, you know, at least just to listen to him, just to see what his point of view in life, you know what I mean? Because I think it's a good one and a good motivator, you know what I mean? A good inspiration, especially the life you've lived given the situation,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think I think God knew what He was doing when He had me live a life of struggle, because I think He knew that, for one, I can bear it and deal. But I think the blessing that He really gave me was the ability to soak it all in, internalize, and deal with it, but learn from it, and then also pass on the knowledge. Like, I don't feel like I'm in any way, shape, or form a mentor to anybody, but I do feel like I've had the luxury and the struggle of growing up fast, and like, I think that early wisdom is really what's made me like appreciate, where I am now as a person, because
Yeah.
I do feel like I got a lot to offer people, but I just don't try to look at myself as a mentor. I
Well,
just try to look at myself as a brother to somebody, or
yeah,
I
I
just want to
mean,
be good for people who need to hear something. You know what I mean?
hey man, as long look, man, as long as you have love and respect for people, bro, I think you should share it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I don't think to those who deserve it.
Yeah, I mean that's probably
I'm
part of
just
my
gonna,
downfall.
put that out there. I mean,
I'm just too nice to
and
everybody.
I respect everybody, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, I might sound a little selfish, but you got to earn my love. You know what I mean? Like
I hear
I
you.
can't just give it to
Hey,
you. You know
man,
what I mean?
I feel the same way, but
So
about certain things, that's
it is what it is, man.
I was realizing the other day that, I really have been blessed with the love from like people closest to me. Like my mom, G, my brothers, like I have the luxury of like really having good people in my life, and I think that's really where I've gotten my love. And I realize that over time, like, I don't necessarily need the love of a significant other to give me that lack of love, 'cause I'm not lacking in it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Would it be nice? Yeah, sure, but
yeah. I mean,
sometimes,
you're human, bro.
bro. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
again, I'm still trying to be a good man, good
Hey
godly
man, as
man.
long as you're doing the best you can, can't nobody ask more than that from you, man.
Yeah, man. But either way, I'm gonna turn it back to the audience, as we usually do. I want to thank God for them too, man, because this pod has really helped me to realize that people did need to hear this, because I've had so many messages since we've started this. I've told you about a lot of them, about people saying, "Hey, like, your pod was great today. What you guys are talking about is some real stuff." And like, I felt I internalized, some people's had differences in opinions and they don't agree. And, I get to have that good conversation too, because any conversation I have about the pod tells me it's affecting people. It's making them feel some type of way.
Yeah,
And that was the whole goal of starting this, was to give perspectives on our lives and how we view shit from a very like average person, you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
And, you know, again, God gave us the luxury to have the space and the money to purchase the things to get this type of stuff out there. People are like, bro, there's some people who can't afford therapy. Here we are. Here's free therapy for you guys. We're not saying we're about to fix you or prescribe you a remedy for your life problems, but what we can do is give you our perspective and insights, and maybe it might make you view something differently. That's the goal here.
yeah,
We never want to preach to anybody that we're going to solve your problem, because we got our own and we're trying to figure it out. But if I figure it out and I can pass on that knowledge, I'll fucking do it, man.
that's what we're here for, man. That's all. That's all we're trying to do here, man. Is just spread the love,
Yeah.
spread the word.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't really want to talk about dating too much in this pod, because I know, that's like dating and self-development is our main thing, but we always try to like diversify what we talk about on here, and try not to hold it just to a specific thing, because people are going through it in life, man. This, like I said, last couple weeks of my life have been rough. My lordy. It has
Yeah,
been rough,
yeah,
boy.
man.
But I appreciate it still,
Hey,
man.
man, the fact that you can still smile and wake up every day, bro, I think that's a blessing, man. And I know some days it's tough to do it, to smile and appreciate it, but we all have our ways to deal with it. You know what I mean? And however it
Yeah,
is you
man.
deal with it, more power to you, man. I don't knock you for none of that, man. But yeah,
Hey, man. Well, like I was telling you last 2 years of our lives, man, I appreciate you and I thank God for you as a person. I thank God for everybody who comes in here and watches this pod and supports us. I thank God for the people who love us, and I thank God for the many more blessings to come, and for the ones that have passed, and all the lessons that I've had learned. So,
Only way to go is up, Charles.
man, and I hope I go up and not down, because your boy doesn't want to go to hell today. Okay?
Oh man, I hear you, man.
Man, but anyways, guys, look, like I said, we wanted to just kind of dabble in a little bit of religion because we don't. There's all Myra. That's what's up.
Oh, hey, we still gotta link up with her at least.
I got her size already.
Okay.
I got her size already.
We haven't forgot about you. Believe me. It's just times is tough right now.
Well, no, that's not even the reason why.
No,
either.
but regardless, we haven't forgot. So
that's not even why we've been working on some other things too. So, but
I didn't even read what she said. I'm sorry.
She put always the solution. Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's true.
And
that's happens. Yep.
And it's funny, Myra. We were just having a conversation about you, me and Lou, the other day, and I know your life story is a great one, and it's funny that you're commenting now because you were part of the reason why we popped up the conversation about like life experiences and how you navigate through it. Do you seek God? Do you go through things like that? And I know your story is a crazy one, and
I just want to say my respects. I know we all went to high school and all that, and when he told me your story, I just couldn't believe it. I didn't know you personally, to be honest. I don't know if you know who I was. I mean, Crenshaw is Crenshaw, you already know. But at the end of the day, man, like the fact that you're still to this day moving forward and being the person you are, and I thank you, because she's been one of the loyal ones, and it just means a lot to us, everybody that comes in here and watches us. And I honestly, like, it was a really, really, like, touching story when, the little bit that you did tell me.
Yeah, and I will say, and all the time that I've known Myra, this is a little shout out to you, Myra. All the time that I've known you, you've never once been like an unhappy person that I can ever remember. And given the struggles that you've had to deal with, that's a beautiful thing. Like I really cannot remember one time I've ever seen her upset. And man, like to go through what you've gone through and still have a beautiful outlook on life, and now you have a beautiful family, and I think that's a blessing.
Yep.
Yeah, we got you, Myra. We got you. And we're also saying, I know that this absolutely up to you, but if you ever want to share your story or allow us to share it for you, I think it's a beautiful one, and how
preferably you though.
Yeah, preferably you. You're more than welcome to be here. We always try to open up the platform for anybody who wants to shed light on anything in life and personal struggles and things like that.
We personally think that just giving personal life experiences and stories, about what we go through, whether it be an accident, whether it be whatever the situation is, I think it's interesting that people are aware that this could be anybody, even the most average person, even the most kindest person, the sweetest person. You'd be surprised, man. Some of the most messed up things happens to the most wonderful people in this world. You know what I mean? And it's just a test of another example. I mean, I don't want to rant on too much, but my aunt, she lived with severe arthritis from like more than half her life, and the fact that she would explain to me, she was like, bro, like getting up from getting up, sitting down, getting up, it felt like a bone would break every time that she did that. And she did that all day, every day. The little bit that she did, we used to carry her up and down the stairs. She was little, but still, you know what I mean? She lived that life, and she never gave up. She never complained. She cried of pain. She always asked God, why her? But at the end of the day, she never gave up to her last day, man. You know what I mean? And the fact that there's people out there that live that life that we take it for granted, man. People be like, oh, like my feet hurt, and all you are is sore. You know what I mean? Like don't complain about those kind of things. You know what I mean? Or like just to be appreciative of what you have in life, because you never know when they could be taken away, man.
Not only that, but you never know how the next person has it worse compared to you, you know? And I think we get so embellished in our own life, and it kind of we lose sight of things sometimes, and we tend to start thinking God's picking on us. But
Not at all.
yeah, man, we all got some struggles, whether it's internally, whether it's externally, whether it's financially, mentally. It's it's all a struggle, and we all go through it. And um, Myra said, "We can arrange something. I'm down." That's what's up.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
We'll talk about it for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll talk about it for sure.
But yeah, I know your story is just an amazing one to me, and it's just a testament to how cruel the world can be, but how a shining light can still come out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. And yeah, yours was one that's always kind of resonated with me growing up. So I think it's important to share those, because I mean, man, there's some evil out there, man. Some real bad evil out there, and again, we appreciate you for tuning in and listening. It's a blessing. We appreciate that for sure, and the fact that we even get to talk about you here on the pod. So, man, and some of our biggest supporters have been Crenshaw people. You noticed?
Hey, man, Shaw City for life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I love it, bro. And again, if you were to tell me that 20 plus years after Crenshaw that this is what we're gonna be doing,
bro.
Having deep conversations with my boy from Crenshaw, with people from Crenshaw, like I would have never, 100 years thought that that's what we're gonna be doing.
Man.
But hey, man, if this was our calling, then we're here to do it. So, and we just hope we give some type of value and entertainment for people who just got nothing to do on the day, and they might hear something they like to hear. Sometimes, they might hear something that'll help them out. I don't know. Or just to sit here and fucking laugh at us. Well, do that too.
Either way, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, run up the views. We'll take it. It's all good. But anyways, guys, we are going to dip out, and we have anything going on? Oh yeah, we do have some stuff going on. See, I almost forgot. Got announcements. We got to make announcements.
There you go.
So I'm going to confirm tomorrow, because I told her I would reach. Actually, I told her. Yeah, I think I told her I would reach out to her Monday. The girl Mimi that I told you wanted to come on the pod and give her experiences in her life.
Okay, yeah.
So another influencer from TikTok. She was talking about some real life stuff on her TikTok, and those are the ones I like really trying to get on the pod, because I don't want to get
just
quote unquote 304s. I want people with stories. You know what I mean? I want people to express what they go through in life. And she seemed like a real good one. She did say she was down to come on, and she said she was down to come on next Friday. So long as we're here and we're not working, next Friday we're gonna have another guest on and give her experience. So I won't go too much into detail about it. I want her to kind of give her story. So so look forward to that, guys. And then, as usual, we always try to do post up shorts. Last week, the reason I didn't post up shorts was because I posted up these build videos, and I wanted you guys to kind of take some time to look at those. And we're actually at like 1.6 thousand on one of them, and the other one's like 1,000 views. So they're doing well.
Nice.
But this week I'm gonna do shorts from last week's live, because there was some good stuff that Alex talked about and we talked about. So I want to post some from that, and possibly some shorts from this live. So I always go based on whether or not we drop some gems. If there's no gems, then we don't need to put it out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just shoot the shit like
today.
Yeah,
I mean, we're us, man. Like I said, we're just two guys here, expressing our adventures, our our experiences with life, man. And that's all it is, man. We just want you guys to share it with everybody else like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And today's pod was really just to thank God for this beautiful life, man. It's too short for us to be hating on people and having a racist bone in our body. Like, we're all human. At the end of the day, I'm gonna quote a guy. I'm not gonna quote it like perfectly or verbatim, but there's this. I know I sent it to you. This Jamaican guy talking about how we view life, and he was saying that if you took water and put it into a blue cup, then the water is gonna be blue. But if you cover the cup, you wouldn't know what color the water is inside, right? It wouldn't matter. Basically saying that it doesn't matter what cup the water in, it becomes that color. because you're looking at it from the outside, and that's just the way we are as humans. Like we're all the same shit on the inside,
Yeah.
but on the outside we look a little different. So stop hating on people, man. Just love people. It's life's too short for that shit. So if there's anything that we can leave you guys with, stop judging people. Just love people and appreciate the things you got. Appreciate the things you don't got, because there's always somebody who's got it worse, and we want to make sure we spread love here. So you guys have a good rest of your weekend. We're gonna get ours started. We didn't really get the job we wanted today, but that is a-okay. And we will be back next week. I will post up a schedule on our Instagrams and also YouTube and let you guys know whether or not we are going to go live and have the special guest this week. I do know we're supposed to be going out of town, so we'll try to figure it all out, guys. Either way, we will be back live. You guys stay up, stay safe, be blessed, and we'll catch you guys on the next live. Much love, guys. Let me go ahead and switch it out. Peace.